I often find myself asking these big existential questions about the universe. Where does it come from? Why are we here? What's the reason? What's before the Big Bang? What is existence in the first place? These are big questions, and they can be scary to really ponder about. And often we're imposing our expectations onto these questions. We love to say that there's a reason why we exist, that there's got to be a reason why I am here. And we expect there to be so many things waiting for us after we die. We don't want there to be this and that's all. We try so hard to escape that. So we resort to things like God, religion. It makes us feel comfortable in these beliefs. I mean, that there's a guy, he cares about me, he wanted me to be here. Yeah, that's why we exist. He put us here so that we can worship and we can do right and wrong. And yeah, that makes more sense. Let's call it God. There we go, we got it. The answer is God. So they become comfortable in their answer, and they call it God, and they stop asking these questions that other people are asking. They stop asking because they think that they got the answer. There's no need to be inquisitive anymore. They have the answer. And then the skeptic comes along and says, wait a minute. There doesn't seem to be a reason why there has to be this entity. There doesn't seem to be a reason why we have to be the center of the universe. Let's just explore things and see what happens. And whatever the answer is, I'll accept it. So they go on their journey, they ask these questions, they discover amazing things about the universe, the Big Bang and black holes and time dilation and relativity, quantum entanglement, quantum mechanics, these big ideas about the universe, these magnificent ideas. And in the process, they learn that every time they ask questions, that every time they learn more about the universe, the more questions arise, the more questions branch off from these answers. And this ever mysterious reality. And they start realizing that maybe there is no ultimate answer, but the journey is what's important. Well, the religious person's still stuck in their belief in God. They're still there, they're still comfortable. Yep, it's God. I got the answer. Trust me, I got to figure it out. It's God. They have encapsulated themselves in this belief in God, and that's all they can see now. All they can see is this belief in God, and every time they look out in the universe, they see a universe that cares about them, and that they're the center of it. They try as hard as they can to fit whatever the skeptic is discovering, whatever we've discovered, into their narrative of God. They try so hard to squeeze it in there, to make it always seem as if they're the center, that there's a reason why that thing exists for them. And in this process, they're missing out on the richness of the mystery. The skeptic on their journey has discovered that every time they learn about the universe, more questions arise, and that mystery makes it more exciting. It drives them to continue learning more and more about the universe. And now their scope of reality is so large that these expectations for them to be the center are no longer there. They have dissolved, because that seems petty from their perspective, right? Their perspective is so large that these other God beliefs are so dwarfed, they're so petty comparatively. And in the process, the skeptic is now beginning to appreciate every discovery he makes, because every new discovery is the next edge of their understanding of reality. It's exciting to be there at the forefront of knowledge, and they're continuously striving to get there. And yeah, there might never be one ultimate answer in the end, but the skeptic has become comfortable with that, and they recognize that there doesn't need to be an ultimate answer, and now the questions themselves become the amazing part of the universe. So the fact that they're able to answer these questions or even question them alone is amazing to them. They start to appreciate the bigger picture, and because of this, they now begin to appreciate the smaller world around them, the people around them, and they recognize biologically that they're made of chemical molecules. That's even more amazing for them, because wow, we look at what these chemical molecules can do. Look at what, how cells work and how these things work. And there doesn't need to be one reason why these things exist. They just do. And we can understand these things. And that makes this skeptic way more appreciative of it. And he begins to fall in love with the cosmos and fall in love with the mystery of the universe. The religious person still stuck in their ways. The skeptic, what is he doing? Oh, black holes? Ridiculous. God probably made those. Galaxies, God made all those so we can see His majesty. Yeah. Trust me, we're the reason why the universe exists. They've encapsulated themselves in this belief so much that they have now succumbed to the confirmation bias. Everything they see now, everything they see about reality is now God. The Big Bang, God did that. Evolution, God did that. Everything is God. They think they have the answers, then they arrogantly dismiss anything that the skeptic is actually really doing, and they just say God did it. They attribute everything to God, because that's all they can see. Their scope of reality is so small that all they can see through is the lens of God. They have the God goggles on. But the skeptic continues learning and continues to appreciate the world and continues to be confronted with these big questions, and it isn't scared to ask them. And every day they're reminded that this might be the last experience they get to have. So everything becomes more precious, right? Everything around them becomes more valuable and precious, because you can, not only is the universe massive, you can travel a billion light years and never find another person like your family again, or the people around you again. But look at what your family are. Look at what we are, comparatively speaking, to the rest of the universe. How amazing and more rich and more beautiful and elegant reality becomes. Yes, at first it's a bitter thing to think that all you do is die, and that's it. But when you face your fears and you have enough courage to face that, everything becomes more sweet and more precious, because this is all we got, and this is what we are. We are part of the universe experiencing itself. And that's profound. But the religious person still stuck in the ways, confirmation bias, having been stuck in the ways the entire time, has missed out on all that. The religious person has missed out on all the amazingness that the skeptic has been seeing throughout their journey. The two perspectives are vastly different here. The religious, because of their need to feel comfortable, have missed out on an entire perspective that is more enriching, more beautiful, more elegant than one that is just comfortable, right? And it's egocentric. So the point of the story is that when we ask these questions about the universe, it's often easy and appealing to say that there is a God, or there's one reason why we exist, and it's often the case. We want there to be a reason why we exist. But if you just have enough courage to face these questions head on, reality becomes a much more amazing and rich place. You just can't tell somebody, right? It takes learning, it takes education, it takes a profound understanding of the cosmos to really get to that moment where you recognize the beauty and the richness of reality without it being egocentric, without us being the center of it, without us being the main characters of the story. And this is what I'm trying to prevent people from doing. This is one of the biggest cons of religion, the biggest scam of religion. It deprives you of all that richness that the skeptic eye can extract from reality. You just can't get that from religion. And from the skeptic eye, from this cosmic perspective, are you then able to actually have I would argue, a more fulfilled life? A life full of amazing experiences. The skeptical approach, that scientific approach to reality, can help you in every aspect of your life. Whereas religion is a detriment to almost every aspect of your life. So the point is that these two types of approaches to these big questions are important. The contrast is important to recognize. And I think this is why I do what I do. I'm trying to show people that there is another perspective to reality. I'm trying to show people, give people insight onto this perspective, that there is another way. When you face your fears, you'll learn that there's a much more amazing reality out there that utterly dwarfs any egocentric one.